You're listening to the Walking Dead Enthusiasts Podcast. Your hosts, Sebastian Kubanucci.
I thought I had to take a really big dump after eating tacos, and I got up, and there was a baby in my toilet.
Dennis Patrick.
I wouldn't miss my family in the zombie apocalypse, but I would be concerned about the future of Taco Bell.
And Ryan Smith.
You can put ketchup on your sketty all you want, but you can't date no child molestator.
And we're live.
Welcome to the Walking Dead Enthusiast Podcast by Fandom. I'm Sebastian.
I'm Dennis.
And I'm Ryan.
On tonight's episode, we're talking about episode 903 of The Walking Dead, entitled Warning Signs.
Is that why they had all those signs on the ground?
Yes, there were quite a lot of warning signs.
There were,
weren't
yeah.
there?
I've been watching a lot of Fear, so I'm getting my episodes confused. So sorry if I mess something up tonight.
Wasn't Morgan really great in this episode?
Remember that Morgan episode?
Really thought Morgan drug this episode down here tonight.
The Morgan episode went over so well, we gave him his own show.
I'm actually interested in your thoughts of Fear. How far into Fear are you?
I am on the fourth to last episode, and I don't think it's as bad as you're saying it is.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I mean, it's keeping me interested.
What? Dude, I've just come to the conclusion that the three of us have drastically different opinions of what is quality television.
When you say quality television, okay, so I'm watching Fear the Walking Dead from the mindset of I've seen season 1 and season 2. Season 2 was great, and season 3 was complete shit.
Are you serious?
You didn't like... I thought season 2... Wait, I'm getting my seasons mixed up. Sorry, reverse that. Season 3 was great. Season 2 was shit. Season 1 was the shittiest.
Okay, I still tend to disagree, but go on.
But I've been really enjoying season 4.
How did you enjoy
I'm serious
season
where they're
4?
going to go with it, but...
Okay, what are you enjoying about season 4?
I like all the people they're meeting.
So, okay, can I just ask you a question? You say season 3 is your favorite, right?
I think, yeah.
You think? No, you're right, because that is the best season. How can you think season 3 is the best season and then say you're enjoying season 4? They skip everything. Everything and anything you wanted to see, they completely skipped over. They've
Like what?
transformed. What do you mean, like what? The entire fallout from the dam, the entire 1 year that they skipped. The fact that they switched Madison from season 1 through 3 of being this ruthless, selfish, kind of do anything for her family and fuck everyone else kind of person to this wholesome, character who's like willing to give people the benefit of the doubt, to the point where she lets these fucking idiots stand outside the stadium and wait for them to die or
Well, don't get me wrong. I
they're
think
doing.
she's a fucking idiot, but then she does sacrifice herself to save her family.
But it's just the whole premise is stupid. The whole premise that these people would stand outside the stadium and wait for them to run out of resources is asinine when they're using up their own resources, sitting there waiting for them to
Yes,
run out
I
of
agree with you,
resources.
and I think I said this before, that part was really dumb.
Okay, so that's the entire first half of the season.
Yeah.
And then the entire second half of the season is this.
Well, I'm not done yet.
What episode are you on?
They just got ambushed by that black woman somehow.
The filthy woman. Yeah, okay, so... And
Or
like,
not, they didn't get ambushed by her. They, the one guy that they found, I guess, got killed by her.
Just her as a villain is completely stupid. And now, did you like Morgan on The Walking Dead?
Not really.
Okay, well...
I like
too
him in this,
bad,
though.
because he's the exact... What do you mean he's the exact same character in this show?
No,
talks
he's
about the
not.
Exact same... Oh my god, he's still talking about kill or not kill and yada yada yada. And
Not as much as he was, dude.
Dennis,
He
you
doesn't
watched
kill
it?
people.
Dennis, did you watch
Yeah.
Fear the Walking Dead?
No, I don't got a dog in this fight. It's
Yeah.
between you two.
Look,
Now
I'm
you
not
get
saying
to-
it's the best thing ever, but I'm saying it's not as bad as you make it out to be. Like,
It
there have
is
been some really
terrible.
bad seasons and really bad episodes of Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, and the way you were saying this season was going was like season 2 of Walking Dead.
Season 2 of Walking Dead is one of my favorite seasons.
Oh, I thought you said it was one of your least favorite.
No.
What am I thinking of again?
Basically what I think it comes down to is the fact that John and I, we had to talk about it on a weekly basis, and we had to attempt to analyze some point, like the whole beer. Like, did you get to the beer part yet?
They found the guy who makes beer.
Like, just how stupid is that? Like, this guy's entire life is based off of beer.
There
And
are
that-
people like that, though.
But he literally did not leave the fucking brewery for an entire 2 years. Come on, it's just so stupid. It's fucking dumb. And just wait, it gets more dumb as you. Okay, we have people actually listening to us live, so welcome. Hello, Michael.
Oh, it's
Wanna
Michael.
say
Hi,
something?
Michael.
Someone, please, dear God, back me up.
Well, this isn't the Fear the Walking Dead podcast, so we might be ruining it for other people. So let's just jump back into Walking Dead here.
I think we need a separate episode of the Fear the Walking Dead podcast by Fandom Found, and we need to debate this because that season is trash. Complete trash. But,
All right.
you know, whatever.
To each
I'm
his own.
digging this season of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's getting there.
Getting there? Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been fully reinvested in this season of The Walking Dead. And
Dude, after last season of The Walking Dead, anything is better than that.
I mean, yes, it's not exactly that hard to to come up with something remotely better than the last season. But I mean, coming from we were ready to rage quit this show and never talk about it ever again to going into the last 3 episodes and actually enjoying it, that's pretty shocking.
Yeah. But I mean, your expectations were so low.
No, you're right. And I don't know if it's like one of those situations where, you know, you're in a shitty relationship and, you know, you're on the cusp of breaking up and then some good things happen and you're like reinvested into it and maybe you shouldn't be as much. I don't know. But I do
No.
feel-
This is a good season. Don't
Yeah.
touch it. No.
All right, good. Okay, thank you for chiming in there. So because I thought it was pretty good. Like all around, I think it's a good season. Like the dialogue is better, the action is better, the stakes feel higher. The storylines just in general are more interesting about rebuilding society and competing kind of factions, not in a kill each other kind of way, just in a getting along kind of way. I think is super interesting. And it's been really refreshing this first 3 episodes. It feels like an entirely new show.
Yeah.
My only regret right now is that I rated the first episode so high that I felt like I should have went back and just gave it a 5 so I can kind of gauge these other episodes because they're so good right now.
You could come back. I mean, you gave it a 7, and I think that's a
Yeah.
pretty appropriate rating for
And I do too, but these episodes feel like they're better than that episode, but I don't feel like they're quite up there at like maybe 8 or 9, definitely not
Yeah.
10.
No, I totally agree with you. I mean, I feel like actually each episode has gotten better and better in this first, 3 episodes here. So I would agree with you there. I actually hit 8 last week, 8.174. I thought the bridge was really good, and this week I'm probably even higher on it. So they've just been doing a really good job of like giving the characters purpose without it being stupid and boring. Like the way they were able to, you haven't really seen Oceanside in these last 2 episodes. They've been in the background, they've had some little parts here and there, but the way they've been able to like really come full circle on that story after what felt like 4 seasons of nothing, and it might have been literally 4 seasons, but just 2 seasons of just like the same thing over and over and over, finally getting a payoff to this story. And I thought it was a really good fucking payoff. So I was super happy with that. And they've just been really good at being able to do that. Like sunsetting certain stories, like that's the end. And, let's just fucking move forward from here.
My biggest gripe. So I think this was the worst episode of this season. Not that it's
Okay.
bad. It's just
God,
the other ones
we're
are
on
good.
We're
my
on a bad vibe tonight.
But my biggest problem with this episode is at the end of it, Maggie and Daryl are like, "Well, we tried Rick's way, and now we need to go talk to Negan or some shit like that." And I'm sitting there like, "You didn't try Rick's way. You literally let them kill that woman."
You're right.
So it's like, what are these people doing? They're not trying Rick's way. They're not trying to coexist with these people. They're letting other people kill them because of their past grievances.
I mean, I think yes, to me, I will admit it felt a little abrupt. But I think like the whole point there is at the end is that there's so much bad blood between these groups that, like Cindy says it, she's like, this is the last one. I don't need to kill all of them. I just need to kill the ones that killed us. And, I just see like that being the way. Like there's no way for these people to go on with this kind of bad blood between them. And I think that's like the argument that Maggie is making there at the end. She's just saying like, Cindy will never be able to get along with these people knowing that the person who shot her brother in the head in front of her, making him beg for his life, there's no way for her to continue on and work with this person in the future. And it's unrealistic for Rick to think that that's a possibility.
But then I think you should not work with that person. Don't interact with that person. Don't even go near them. Like this camp is the only... The Bridge Project is the only time you're interacting the different groups with each other. Other than that, everyone's at their own place doing their own thing. So I don't understand why she has to come to the camp and essentially look at this person or talk to this person or interact with that person at all. If you have gripes with people, like, you just don't interact with them. Like, if someone fucking killed my family member, I'd be pissed too and want to kill the shit out of them. But at the same time, if like, Rick's telling me to get along with someone, I'm just not going to go near them.
Yeah, I mean, I could see what you're saying, but like when you're in such a small group in a small community, I mean, a small group of communities, like, I don't know, like Maggie has to look at her child and see, has to look at her child every day and see Glenn in that child. And then she's constantly reminded that the person that took Glenn away from her and away from her child is still alive because Rick is forcing that upon her, not because she wants that. So Cindy, knowing that these people are alive and even within the same, quote unquote community of them, that must be really hard. I would have a hard time reconciling that in my personal opinion. Like if someone killed a family member of yours, and then it's hard to like say like the United States doesn't count, even Pennsylvania doesn't count. Like it needs to even be closer, more intimate quarters than that, where your community is giving food to the person who killed your family member. Like, would you be able to deal with that?
I'm agreeing with you, but at the same time, there's a reoccurring theme in this show where killing the person who wronged you doesn't fix it. They say that all the time.
Sure.
Morgan says that in every episode that he's in. And so, but they keep going back to all these people that know that, and they still want to kill these people. Like, killing Negan's not going to do anything for Maggie.
This is bigger than just the one death. These are people that killed like all the men, and then they had to flee, I think twice after they gave 50% of everything they had.
Yeah.
I know that. I'm just saying, like, don't interact with these people. I understand it's hard, but if I get you. Yeah, you're not forced to work with them.
I think it's more of like a vengeance.
Yeah,
I guess. Oh, Michael says, I'm really enjoying the season as well. Do you think all the credit goes to Angela Kang? And I think we all agree that it does.
That is the one thing we probably all agree on.
Yeah.
I mean, it's never been more evident that Scott Gimple has been pulled from this show and the least involved that he's been. Angela had set forth a very strict plan at the beginning of the season. We're not dragging shit out. We're going to expedite storylines. We're going to blow through things. We want to get to these different storylines, and we're not going to drag it out for seasons. The characters that are important to the show are going to be a feature again. The females are going to take a lead, and she's already, episode 3, she's really, hit on all of those points already. So I do think, all probably of the credit goes to Angela Kang. And just with Scott Gimple not being involved, you could really tell it's a totally different show. So I would say yes. Go Angela Kang.
Yes.
You go, girl.
Get it.
Get it. Yeah, I don't know. It's I mean, this is like the moral debate, and this is obviously we're debating it here, and they're debating it in the show. So I think it's obviously an interesting component to the story, because here we are debating whether we think it's right or whether we think it's wrong. I would probably side, and I mean, this is all kind of like on Maggie's shoulders in a way. Like, Cindy specifically calls her out as the reason that she felt that she could do this, that she could hunt down the Saviors, that she could get vengeance on against the people who killed their family and their group, and because she hung Gregory. So I kind of like that conflict too. Like, Rick tried to tell us, we have to all live peaceful and happily, but you showed us that there's another way, and we don't have to follow just Rick's rules, which I think is interesting too, because they don't have established laws. They don't have any sort of guidelines of how they're supposed to act or punishments for certain actions that they might take. So I think that's part of the interesting goodness of season 9 here.
I just find it interesting how they are making essentially rules for thee but not for me in the show. Whereas, like, if someone wrongs one of the main cast, like Gregory did to Maggie, he can die. But, it's just kind of like if any of the main cast did that to anyone else, it wouldn't be the same. Like, if Daryl went and killed that guy instead of him being taken by Seaside and killed, they'd be all right with it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's like a symptom of of us following the quote unquote good guys, right?
Yeah, it's I don't know. They have this subplot where Michonne's making this charter, and they seem to be dragging that out for some reason.
What do you mean? She even said, "I'm gonna finish this thing in a day," and Rick wanted to have sex instead.
I'll show you a charter. What did he say? He said something.
I'll give you my charter.
He said something that was real corny.
Well, she was like, yeah, no, I don't remember exactly what was said, but he was basically like, "Oh, you're gonna have this thing wrapped up by supper time," and she's like, "Yeah, no." And then he's like, "I could think of a different way to rebuild society."
Yeah, that's what it was.
Really?
Make more zombies. I mean, people.
I mean, do you think they're gonna introduce another pregnancy?
I fucking hope not.
I mean, that'd be some luck. Like the day, like
I think
that he's like, "Let's start a family." That's the right day of the month for her.
I think they have other priorities than bringing more people into the world.
I feel like I would like to see a scenario where someone has a child in the show and doesn't survive it, because like that feels like a very realistic thing to me. Like, we're talking back in the day before, advanced medicine or anything like that, where childbirth was definitely more risky and women died in childbirth. Like, that would feel more appropriate than all these people who just like seamlessly have children
off camera.
Yeah, off camera, and they're up and at them like the
would have been perfect for Maggie's character since she's leaving.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Honestly, between like the two of them, Rick and Maggie, I don't feel like either of them are going to die. I think they're basically setting it up for either of them could return in the future.
Rick's going to be an A and be taken away, whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, he's gonna fly away in the helicopter, man.
Rick and Maggie, never to be seen again.
Yeah, never know. Never know.
Morgan's gonna come back and
Ugh.
no one's gonna be there.
I will officially give up on the Walking. If Morgan ever shows his face on the mark my words, Morgan ever shows up on The Walking Dead ever again, that is the day that I stop watching that show.
Oh, jeez.
So I despise Morgan as a character.
Like I used to hate Carol.
Yes, but I think my hate for Morgan is more than you hated Carol, shockingly.
Oh, wow.
Because I think you thought like Carol was just like inconvenient and a bit of an annoyance.
She was fucking killing kids and it's just.
Oh,
yeah.
is that back when you still hated her?
Oh yeah, dude, I hated her for seasons.
Oh, I thought you hated like.
I still
kind
of don't like her.
What? Really?
She's annoying.
Why?
She's a fearsome grandma.
Yeah, I love it. I love when she's like laying the smack down to Justin in the tent before Daryl comes in and kicks his ass last week. I was like, yeah, bitch, you get him. No, Carol's badass even when she's killing kids. And she kills them for good reason, man.
What?
She's a murderer.
Well, yeah, Carol should be put on trial for killing kids.
No. She was protecting other children.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. She's
Sure.
protecting
Does
innocent.
anyone actually know that?
Does anyone know what?
That she killed that chick? I totally forgot. That little girl.
The one
Now
that
that
she
you
shot?
mention
Yeah.
Yeah.
it. Who?
The one that was like, look at the flowers. We talking
No,
about the
but
same
No,
kid?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but I'm
who
saying-
who knows?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
God. This is going to be like, okay, so if she didn't kill that little kid, then fucking Lori's alive, Madison's alive, every death we don't see on the screen, everyone's alive.
That's not
No.
what we're saying.
I'm saying who knows that she killed that
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. I don't think anyone. Well, I assume people were just like, where'd those kids go? And she was just like, I don't know.
Every death is a conspiracy. No
Yeah.
one is actually dead on this show.
No, I was actually,
think-
I was thinking, I saw the episode of Fear where June goes back to find, like, she goes to that FEMA place.
yeah.
And is looking for like little kids, and then you actually get to see like corpses of like what appears to be like 10-year-olds or something like that.
Yeah.
And a thought occurred to me I was like, yeah, why are there no like toddlers or babies running around like zombie babies? And I was like, oh, maybe because they just get completely eaten because they're
Yeah,
so
I mean,
small.
well, Lori's entire body gets consumed. so I guess every baby gets consumed also. But no, yeah. Okay, so you're right. Like the first, like, I think we really like the first 6 episodes of Fear, especially that one episode with June. That was a really good one. Yeah, but after 7, it just goes off the rails. Off the rails in Dum Dum Land.
The
but
dumb land. Michael in the chat says, would y'all rather see them killed?
who?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see when he typed it.
Clarify your question, Michael. And
Maybe he
We'll
means
answer.
the saviors.
Would I have rather seen all the saviors killed? No, because I think it makes a more interesting story for season 9. But logically speaking, I think you would have to greatly consider killing all of them.
Oh no!
I mean-
Wait. You're talking about all of the saviors, even the ones that were just workers?
Yeah, probably.
Wow.
We never
I
forget,
mean,
and we never
can
forgive.
you- Exactly. Can you kill a subsection? I mean, you already see like the splinters in the saviors themselves. You have in this episode Laura, and you have a Rot. You know, they're trying to hold everyone back while this whole like riot or whatever is going on. So you see there's already splinters within that main group where some support, some don't, some still say I'm Negan. Like, how do you really distinguish between those people? And who do you know are good and who do you know are bad? You don't. So I don't know. Like, you kind of just have to kill them all.
Wow.
or like, okay, so Arat and Lara are on your side now, but once you start offing like the most aggressive saviors, like the Justins, like the Judd or Jed or whatever Mud or whatever the fuck his name was.
Mud.
You know, do they start to get bitter and do they start to become the Justins and the Muds of the group? Who knows? So it's like, how do you really distinguish between the two? Obviously, it's easy for me to say as me right now here in 2018 and not in the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, sure, kill them all, but you know. That's how I would do it. But what would you do, Dennis?
Yeah, I guess you laid a good point. I don't know if I would be able to tell just who is who. Again, there's like some really decent ones, like the dude that's with Maggie's group now, and that
Yeah, like
barcode chick is really nice.
yeah, I forget what his name is, like Al.
Michael says Rick and Maggie. Would you rather see them killed?
Oh, would I rather see them killed off the show? Ryan, what do you think? Well, do you want to talk about the savior thing first?
I'd rather see them killed off.
The saviors?
No, Rick and Maggie. The saviors are not gonna all die unless like the Whisperers come in and get them or something.
Ryan's been heavily influenced by Morgan's "All Life Is Precious." I can tell.
I just said kill off Rick and Maggie. What are you talking about?
Well, you mean like kill them off like the show? Like if they're gonna leave, like kill them off, not like should Rick and Maggie make the decision to kill all the saviors?
Well, if Andrew Lincoln was like his character's bulletproof. The show's based around it. So if he's gonna leave, kill him off. Don't leave the speculation that he's still out there. He could come back sometime. Just fucking get rid of him.
It's like Heath.
What?
I said. I said he's like Heath.
Oh yeah. Heath's not dead. No, Heath was the bridge guy who left. With
the dreadlocks. Yeah.
He's not dead either. We didn't see him die.
No, you're right. But like, if they ever try to come back to him, I'm gonna be super pissed.
Oh, hey Heath.
I've just been out here for 1.5 years on my.
Literally, it's just gonna be. But if he comes back in an episode, it's just gonna be previously on The Walking Dead. Remember Heath? No. I guess he's back.
Well, we'll know the episode he comes back because, like you said, in the previously on the AMC Dead, they'll show a clip of when
of him running away or some
4
shit.
seasons ago. We'll be like, oh, I guess Heath's coming back this episode. Dennis, where are you in terms of Lauren Cohen and Andrew Lincoln leaving? Would you rather see Rick and Maggie written off the show alive, or would you rather see them killed?
I'd like to see them alive. I always thought it would be an interesting idea of just leaving some of the cast and not seeing them for, I don't know, 2 or 3 seasons.
Oh, we did that every season, the last 3 seasons.
We did that with Morgan. Look how that turned out.
We've done that with every character. There would be episodes where we wouldn't see certain characters.
They should go on the helicopter and then we just not see them for like 4 or 5 seasons. Just 4 or 5 years, and then
oh god,
it gives them a nice big break.
They'll be come back re-energized, ready to go. I can't. No, there cannot even be 4 or 5 more seasons of this show. I could do with Rick being killed off completely. Maggie, I don't feel like I want her to be killed off because I feel like she probably has a larger part to play. Now that Carl's gone, I don't really see Rick, a need for Rick or what his purpose is or what he's really fighting for. I think it's a super thin thread to be hanging his storyline on. Like, I need to be doing all this for Carl because eventually it's going to get really fucking old.
It's all for toddler Judith.
Yeah, it's all for little baby Judith, who's not even my biological child at this point.
We don't know that. It didn't happen on screen. It could be.
I feel like, didn't they confirm somewhere that Judith is Shane's child?
No, he admitted to Rick that he had sex with Lori, but
he knew.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was someone along the line. He did like the math. I was in the hospital for so long.
Yeah. Interesting.
You're gonna see Judith come out with a buzz haircut.
And the big old ears.
Wearing a Punisher shirt.
Punisher. Also, good show. Good show.
Mhm.
Yeah, so like I said, kill Rick, keep Maggie, and I hope Maggie returns. In a way, what do you guys think about like them marketing Rick's death? So I don't know if we've ever really talked about this. Obviously, when the news broke, they didn't say anything for a long time, but right before the show premiered, they actually started marketing like, oh, Andrew Lincoln's last season, Rick's final episodes. And now, like at the end of this episode, they're like, oh, Rick only has 2 episodes to go. So we know that his death is going to occur in episode 5, or we know his quote departure is going to occur in episode 5. Dennis, what do you think about them being so specific about it?
Wait,
I
they
didn't
actually
realize
say
it
that?
was. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
At the,
episode 5, mid-season?
No, episode 8 is mid-season.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, they said it in the credits for next week, or the preview, whatever, for next week. You know what I mean?
Oh, I watched it online, so I don't see any of that.
Next time on The Walking Dead.
Rick's dead, everyone! Woo!
Make sure to watch. Highest rating. Do you think it's gonna? I mean, obviously, it's a ploy, right?
Obviously, what?
It's a ratings ploy.
Oh, 100%. We're going to kill off the character that's been here forever. Come watch. See how we do it.
See, are you guys for sure they're gonna kill him? Did they say kill him? Did they say death?
No, they just said his
Okay.
final episode. So define, final episodes however you want, but could be a death, could be. I mean, the way they're setting this up, there are, obviously there's people watching the trailer and snipping together scenes, and they're saying there is evidence in the trailer that Rick is injured pretty severely, where he's bleeding a lot, and it looks like he's trying. I guess they're in the process right now of like redirecting a herd, but it seems like whatever's going to happen within these next 2 episodes, the herd actually isn't going to get redirected and it's going to get driven right towards the bridge or whatever where they all are. And Rick's going to get injured and possibly killed by the herd, or he's not going to get killed by the herd and he's going to go literally flying away on a helicopter, which is
That's the only other option that I can think of.
So let's talk about the whole helicopter thing, because Jadis has her kind of weird moment, or and Jadis, whatever. Who is she? We don't know. We see her radio into whoever the fuck, and she seems to have this agreement with them where she's trading people. She tells Gabriel she's trading people for supplies. They ask her, she wants to go. Finally, she says like, I paid my due or whatever. And they say we need an A first. And it sounds like there's either A's or there's B's. Do you guys have any theories about like what A's and B's are?
It was kind of confusing because she says that what's his face is a B, right?
She
Or
said
she
she
thought he
thought-
was a B.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And as a little add-on there, Pollyanna McIntyre, whatever the fuck her name is, who plays Jadis, was on Talking Dead afterwards, and someone from the audience said, is Chris Hardwick an A or a B? And she said Chris Hardwick is an A. And we know that Rick is an A also because Rick was in the when she kidnapped him, there was an A written on it. So I don't know. Dennis, do you have any theories?
I mean, probably just leadership qualities.
Alpha or a beta.
Yeah.
Dennis, you're current on the comics, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Does this have to do with the future of the comics?
No.
Really? Everything
I
I'm
have
reading
no
online says this has to do with the Commonwealth.
No, it doesn't make any sense to do it that way. No, I can see why they would say that, but no.
I thought so. From what I've read online, Commonwealth has like this distinction between A and B people. A are people with leadership qualities, and B are people that are essentially like
No.
followers.
No.
So can you explain that to me?
So is it fine to say on here?
Yeah, well, like who cares? Close your ears if you don't want to hear it.
Okay, so Commonwealth is based around your past. So if you were a a lawyer, say, you would have a prestigious role. You would still be a lawyer. If you're a police officer, you'd still be a police officer. If you worked at a bakery, you would be a baker. So wherever your role was before the pandemic, you would just essentially restart that right where you left off and work to get to a better, a better class.
Okay.
So low and high class sort of thing. I don't see how that would result in an A or B. It doesn't work. Like I can't see like what's his name? The dude that just got punched. It's not
Gabriel.
Morgan. Gabriel. Yeah, I don't see how he would be like, oh, I considered you a B because you stood up. Now you're an A. Like he was a priest. So
Well, I
Dude,
guess the tie-in I thought was like, again, me not knowing what's actually going on in the Commonwealth and the story. Like like you guys said, alpha and beta, but maybe not so literally. Like alpha would be like a leader type, someone who could grow a community, whatever, and a B would be more of like a workhorse, a follower, whatever. And maybe again, this is coming with no knowledge of what the Commonwealth is in the comic books. It's like they're basically in charge of restarting society. So they're collecting the A's, the leaders, the Rick Grimes of the world, people who have recreated societies, and they're using them and essentially transferring them to a new society where it needs to be rebuilt still, and they need a leader, and he becomes that person. And then the B's get like shuffled in like the saviors are here in this situation as the workhorses, and they're building things and putting things together, and Rick the A is leading them into that future. That was my
possible. It's possible. I just don't see like this whole like all these characters and the helicopter, nothing like that is in the comic books.
Gotcha.
So it could just be like their way of setting that up for the future.
And I mean, that's a way of them, taking Andrew Lincoln off of this show and quote unquote killing him off, but not really. They say, hey, you're an A. We're going to go put you at another community. You're going to run that community and build it up to what you've been doing now. Or that's what they could do with Lauren Cohan. Because they've really been focusing on the fact that Maggie is a good leader. She's, of all the communities, it's the most established. It's doing the best. They take her and shove her somewhere else too.
Sort of like Lord of the Rings. You guys seen that movie? At the very end where they have the ship. The people who held the ring got to go on the ship and just float away.
Yeah.
Well, that's because they were corrupted.
Well, this is a little bit of the opposite. So then I guess like my interpretation of when she hits Gabriel over the head and she says, all this time I thought you were a B, I think it was because he was making the decision for himself at that time versus blindly following her, because she tries to kind of like quote unquote pussy whip him into into coming along with her to live in this new place where he can't even imagine what it's going to be like, and it's going to be amazing, and she's going to be with him and he's going to be with her and it's going to be great. And he says, no, I gotta go tell Rick. And so in that case she's like, oh damn, you're more of an A than I thought you were. That's my interpretation of it. I don't know if it's true or what, but that's me piecing all this shit together that I was hearing online, basically.
So you think she's going to give him up now that he is an A?
I don't know. I'm a little... Because I don't think she's like a literal... I don't think he's like a literal A. Like when he was an A. I don't think he's like a full-on A. But then in the previews for next week, she has like another one of those fucking zombie art installations. Like... he's like tied up and she has like another one of these things like hovering over him, so it's like almost like she's gonna kill him.
Oh jeez.
Yeah, so that part makes me worried a little bit for this storyline, but yeah, ultimately I don't know what they're gonna do with her. I guess she can't let him live because she can't let everyone else know about this situation, but I don't know. I kind of find it interesting, like the junk people are like the ones involved in this entire thing.
Yeah, of all the settlements, they went to the junk people.
Do you think those one people are connected at all?
Who?
The three that came to Maggie and gave her like everything she needs to know how to rebuild her world.
I thought that Georgie was supposed to be the Commonwealth. That was the vibe I got, but now it sounds like that's not really the case, I guess. Like, I feel like if she was part of a larger group called the Commonwealth. So is the Commonwealth like a governmental thing? What is the Commonwealth?
Commonwealth is like Alexandria. It's just like another name for an area.
And so why do they think they're better than everyone else?
Because it's massive.
Like a city massive?
Oh, you're talking like they have a stadium where like concerts go on. It's like modern day life there.
All right. Well, I feel like, well, there was in the last episode, Jesus is talking to Maggie, and he makes the comment about how Georgie wanted Maggie to come along with them. And Maggie was like, "Oh no, I can't do that because of like Herschel or whatever." So I don't know. I still feel like these two things are separate. Like the helicopter is completely separate than Georgie, or maybe Georgie is like a subsection of the helicopter people. I don't fucking. I really have no theories at this point.
In the comics, where's the Commonwealth located?
I know it takes like maybe a week or so just to get there by horse.
I think it's Ohio, right?
I have no idea where it's at located wise.
I think it's Ohio, Ryan, but I'm not sure. You would think the Commonwealth would be Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Since we aren't we the what state are we? The Commonwealth state?
No, we're the Keystone State, but it is it is a Commonwealth
Oh.
of Pennsylvania. Yeah.
You're right. See, I grew up in New Jersey. I don't know any of this shit. I'm still new to the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. All right. Yeah. So I don't know. Any other thoughts there about Jadis?
She's fucking weird. She's like all worried about people not trusting her, and then she goes and does something that makes people not trust her. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of like hilarious that she's worried about people like not trusting her, and then her immediate next thought is to go to the junkyard and make this call when like people are clearly watching her. Like,
Mhm.
why would you not wait like a couple of days to make that decision? But I don't know. I thought it was also kind of funny that like they immediately her like she's the one killing all the saviors out of everyone, and it's like some things where we know like 1.5 years have passed, and then like certain things pop up where it seems like 1.5 years hasn't passed and like shit just happened yesterday. And this is like one of those situations where it almost felt like kind of hard to believe that after a year and a half someone's going to bring up like Simon killing all of Jadis's people and that would be her motivation for doing this. Like, I don't know, seems a little far-fetched.
Yeah.
But then again, you have Cindy offing the saviors. So I guess it's not that far-fetched in a way. But
Yeah, were you guys surprised at all who was killing him?
yes, I
I-
was.
I was.
Yeah, that was a twist I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
Well, as soon as Rick sat down and was like, it looked like an arrow, I was like, oh, so it's that harpoon thing she was using.
Oh, really? See, like, I didn't even put that together.
Yeah, no.
They literally show her like right after that. They show her laying on the ground with it.
No, you are right. Like, watching it the second time, oh, yeah, there are way more subtle nods going on there, like, with the harpoon and stuff. But upon first watch, not things I noticed at all. I would. But, no, I like the fact that it was them. You know, last week I was speculating with John that it was possibly the saviors themselves, you know, kind of breaking off in a separate faction and kind of collecting themselves for an attack on Rick's group or whatever. So I thought it was kind of refreshing that they didn't go down that path, which kind of felt like the obvious path, and went down something that was a little bit more of a twist, and then also super related to a lot of the stuff we saw in the past with the Oceanside, and in my opinion, something that would be a completely believable situation where they would want to take revenge out on them. So I don't know.
I just
I
assumed
thought-
it was the Whispers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people thought that too. So which would have been interesting, but that wasn't really the Whisperer's MO, right? Like they
No.
weren't like kidnapping people and like killing them, as far as I remember.
Oh,
Well, I mean, they
no,
weren't
they
yeah, they did kidnap.
did.
Actually, that's exactly what they did. But they all like, I don't know, like it wasn't.
They were more upfront about it. Like they had a display.
Well, and it wasn't. It was a direct result of Rick breaking the rules, right?
It was a no. It was started out because they were expanding, which is what they're sort of doing right now.
You're right. That's true. So I guess it could have been related. I mean, that was the good part. Like they kept it so up in the air and open to the fact that it really could have been anyone. To where the last people I would have suspected was Oceanside, especially because they haven't really been featured this entire first couple of episodes. We've seen Cindy a little bit. I was starting to wonder if Cindy was the only person left of Oceanside because we hadn't really seen anyone else up until now.
Yeah.
But
Doesn't she have a sister?
Cindy?
Yeah.
No. She had
Well,
a
there was
brother.
that. Wasn't there like that one chick that Oh gosh, what's her name?
The little girl
Yeah.
that was given like Tara the middle finger. Or
Yeah. Tara. I was trying to think of her name.
Yeah, I don't think that's her sister. They're just in the
Okay.
same group or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
One of the other things I liked in this episode, I thought they did a good job of making Arat seem like a sympathetic character, so that throughout this entire episode they really featured her as a person working with Laura to kind of squash the beef between the Saviors and everyone else. They were always the people jumping in the middle to try to break up the fight and not allow it to continue. So I thought it was obviously throughout the episode you're like, oh, these two are really like on Maggie's side and Rick's side, and then it's kind of like a gut punch at the end where Arat ends up being killed by another character we like, and you have to weigh that kind of moral conflict of like who's right in this particular situation. And I thought the last scene with Daryl and Maggie was very like a gut punch at the end. I liked it. You didn't like it?
Mm-mm.
Why?
Well, I already said this is like they didn't even try.
Oh, well, I mean, I just thought like the way it was filmed and like the acting and even the writing, it was all good. Like from whether they made the right decision or not, that's up in the air.
And then I was confused though why they were gonna go talk to Negan.
I think they're gonna go kill Negan.
Oh, okay.
That was the vibe I got. I mean, basically, Maggie and Daryl say at the end, we tried it Rick's way, it's not working, and now it's time to go see Negan. And by see Negan, I think it means murder Negan. But that was the impression I got. I don't know if that's actually the case. I mean, Maggie says, I forget exactly what she says at the end. Like, we tried it Rick's way. And she didn't like say whether they agreed with Rick's way or didn't agree with Rick's way. So I feel like I guess it could go either way there at the end. But I don't know. The seeing Negan part seems to imply that they're not just going to talk to him. But
They really didn't try at all, though. Thinking about it.
Yeah, they
She
didn't.
killed
She's
Gregory.
doing her own shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. I saw some effort on Maggie's part. Like, look at it from the very beginning of this episode where, she's riding toward. No, Maggie did try, because last episode, Michonne goes to see Maggie and convinces her about the charter. We have to work on the charter, and we need to, work towards a future here, and that requires you giving the Saviors part of their half of the food or whatever you decide to give them, even though the ethanol never showed up. And Maggie didn't want to do it, and she refused, and she says, we're keeping this for ourselves because we're going to need it because the ethanol was never delivered. By the end of the episode, she breaks down and gives in, and she says, fine, I'll hold up my end of the bargain. Even without the ethanol, I'll go and deliver the food. So that's step one of her trying, right?
I mean, the ethanol was going to be used for the tractors, but she ended up going ahead and letting that dude out to make plow. So the ethanol really didn't matter too much at that point.
Yeah, but it's still an important component. Like, I don't know, having a tractor that works is better than that fucking horse plow that they use instead. But my point, that's not the point. The point is that she made the effort. Rick asked her to make the effort. Michonne asked her to make the effort, and she did. She gave in. And then in the beginning of this episode, we see that they're intercepted by a large group of the saviors. She's kind of like muscled into, whatever with that Jed guy who eats the tomato in front of her or whatever, and she doesn't fucking off him right then and there, even though she could. She just kind of is just like, give me your name, son. I'm gonna mark you down for that tomato. But that, like, to me, that's her trying too. Like, Maggie of the past would just off that dude and be like, go fuck yourself. But she didn't, and she tried. So I don't know. I saw her giving some level of effort, more than Daryl gave. That's for damn sure.
My thing is, like, even at the end of the episode, she found out that it wasn't the saviors stealing all the shit. They were actually following through with the plan. It was fucking Seaside who came in and fucked everything up.
Yeah.
And then she still decides to give up on Rick's plan. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It wasn't the saviors. It was her own people who were fucking it up.
I just think she and Daryl see it as like there's certain things that you've done in the past and you just can't come back from it. And when Cindy is saying like, you made my brother beg for his life, and I think like Maggie in that situation was like judge, jury, and executioner. She's like, did you do this? She's like, yes. What did you say? It was some fucked up shit. Like, no excuses. And she's just like, whatever. Like, I'm not going to fix this broken relationship between the two of these people. So if the only way to fix it is that Arat ends up dead at the end of this, then so be it. And she walks away. And I can't say I disagree. I don't know. I guess I'm a little more cold. But I mean, I get it. I get the contradiction of everything. Like, Rick's group goes in and fucking murders sleeping saviors. Like, I get it. It's all contradiction. But, that's the group we follow, so we're fans of them.
Oh my God.
Right? I mean, like, come on. That's like the whole argument of this entire show. It's like, who's really the villain at the end of the day? Like, if we followed the saviors from the beginning, we might think that they're the good guys and Rick's group are the bad guys,
I don't know about that, but...
Yeah, I don't either. But I don't know. I don't know. They tend to try to make the right decision as much as possible. Typically eliminate threats that are only a direct, threat to their livelihood. I don't ever feel like they're unjustly killing people, but I'm sure other people could identify situations where maybe that did occur, but I don't know. I can't think of any off the top of my head. So, but I do agree. Like, they didn't try that hard. Okay, she tried a little. Daryl didn't try. Daryl didn't try at all. I will admit. But Daryl does say, if I was gonna kill him, I'd kill him in plain sight, and he didn't kill him in plain sight. So that's Daryl's equivalent to trying.
Oh boy.
You can't expect too much from Daryl, all right?
Okay.
He's a wild animal who cannot be tamed.
Ye shall not tame the Daryl.
We shall not. I don't know. What else? Is that it?
Yeah, I mean, not a lot happened. I wasn't surprised at what happened in this, and that's why I said, there were a couple confusing things. It didn't really seem like anyone tried to go with Rick's plan, and like the entire time, like last season at the end, they were just kind of like, yeah, fuck Rick. Let's do what we want to do. Maggie and Jesus and all them.
And Daryl, yeah.
And so I guess they tried by thinking about it really hard, but I think everything's just going to go to shit once they start doing that.
Do you think the 1.5 years was them trying?
I guess maybe that's why I have a disconnect with it, because we don't see that 1.5 years of them trying.
Yeah, so it's like there was a 1.5 year Maggie not killing Greg and Daryl not killing the saviors and Oceanside not killing the saviors, you know, like it wasn't until Maggie hung Gregory, which was the last straw. Like, do you think Maggie hanging Gregory was justified?
It was. I'm not in that position, so I can't really say. But it was weird to me that she hung him and not the other guy.
Well, I think the other guy was like easily manipulated situation. She probably saw that.
I guess.
I don't know.
I don't
It's
know.
like if you could feel that Maggie hanging Gregory is justified, then I can't say that the actions of Oceanside is not justified either, which is their main catalyst and their main excuse for even doing what they did, because Maggie essentially set the ball rolling forward after that 1.5 years of relative stability and calm. She's the one who kind of created this entire situation. And even Daryl, I guess, has been living by this for 1.5 years too. So we just didn't see it, so it doesn't feel like
It doesn't feel like it happened.
doesn't feel like they tried. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. So that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah, more or less of a lackluster episode, in my opinion. But what are you gonna do?
I don't know. Can't please them all. You're right. You know.
Oh, I know.
That's always the best part of the podcast. Differing opinions.
All right.
All right. I think we have some comments.
Oh yeah.
Let's read the comments.
Let's do it.
If you want to send feedback into the show, you can do so by emailing twepodcast@gmail.com. And you could also follow us on our Facebook page, facebook.com/fandomfound, which is also where we post kind of like a little recap, and you can comment on that and your feedback on the show. So first up, we have Johnny. This season is really good. Zero complaints. Okay, and this coming from Johnny. This is a good thing. This season is really good. Zero complaints. Didn't see the Oceanside people kidnapping the saviors. That really that killed their people. Pretty good.
Pretty
Pretty good. Next up, we have Jonathan.
good.
He says, I don't really agree with letting the Oceanside people just kill off the saviors. I understand why they want to, but Maggie and Daryl seem to think that what the saviors did was wrong. Didn't you guys kill a bunch of saviors in the middle of the night while they slept and they hadn't done anything to you?
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, on to more important issues. Has Maggie gone and found herself a Glenn 2.0?
Oh, I
That-
just saw. I had to take a double take when I saw that. I was like, wait, what? Is that what?
Well, so Jonathan says you went and killed a bunch of saviors in the middle of the night when they hadn't done anything to you. Was that before or after Glenn was killed? That was before Glenn was killed.
Yeah,
right?
that was the first time. The first time Alexandria or Rick's group came to. Who did they meet? I think that was the first time they met the Kingdom, and they were like, "We'll help you out." And they went and attacked that one settlement, killed everyone, thinking they killed off all the saviors.
Yeah, you're right. All right. No, so I mean, I guess you're right. Rick just doesn't like to take orders, right? So Michael, who's also listening, I believe, says this season is dark. I'm loving it. I'm gonna cry like a baby when Rick leaves. Are you guys gonna cry?
No.
Are you like super concerned about him leaving? Or
I think the show's going to take a drastic nosedive when he does.
from a rating standpoint, or from like a quality standpoint?
Yes.
Both. All the above. Dennis, what about you?
I mean, do you think we're gonna see like the highest ratings for that episode?
No, I really don't. I think their marketing attempt at, making this a big thing for people to watch, like it really, the ratings are shit. They're at like an all-time low for the series. So
Which
clearly,
is still an all-time high for everything else.
what do you mean?
Isn't it like over 5 point something million?
Yeah, but that from a Walking Dead standpoint, that's
Oh yeah, from a Walking Dead standpoint, but I was talking about like everything else showing.
just like general television.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. I mean blows like most things out of the water. But yeah, I mean, New Beginning had 6 million viewers. The Bridge had 4.95, and Warning Signs had 5. So I mean, they picked up 500,000 viewers in the week. I just don't see, because like even at this point, the 6 million who are watching this show and the 6 million that left between last season, like they're not even watching to know like Rick's last episode is happening at episode 5. Like they're gone. They knew Rick was leaving and they said, I'm not back, period. It doesn't matter. So I will the ratings go up a little bit? Probably. Are they going to hit like 17 million like the who did Negan kill episode? Probably not. And then after that, oh dear God, I can only imagine what the ratings are going to be like. I'm really nervous, and it's kind of sad because I feel like the show has gotten better, and it sucks that like now it's gonna get completely shit on from a rating standpoint, because I do feel like they can still sustain the show even without Rick being there, based off of kind of like what we've been seeing with these first 3 episodes. But I don't know if it's actually gonna happen. So I don't know. I'm genuinely interested to see where we net out at the end of this mid-season with ratings. And I feel like that's also partially the reason why they're killing him off in episode 5 rather than a mid-season finale, because I think they know that if they killed him off in a mid-season finale, then it's even more likely that no one would return like for the mid-season premiere. But if they kill him off in like 5, maybe.
Do you think bringing someone back like Lori would help? Like if they just like they just make the announcement like, guess who's back?
No, dude, that everybody would just be like, what?
What if they just brought back every character who's died?
They resurrect everyone.
Yeah, Andrea's coming back.
No one actually died. Lol. JK.
Beth was coming back. Anyone who had like a remotely ambiguous, or what if they brought more? What if they brought Madison to The Walking Dead? I would definitely tune in.
Oh boy,
that would be fun.
She's not dead.
I love Madison. She's one of my favorite characters.
I like that she and Victor are drinking buddies, or were.
Yeah, were. Rip. Yeah, no, that's all I got. You guys want to do episode ratings?
Sure.
All right, so I don't have your ratings for last week, but I rated The Bridge 8.174, and John rated it a 7.743. Ryan, what do you rate episode 3, Warning Signs?
5.75.
That's surprising. Dennis, where are you at?
I'm at an 8.
8. Yeah. Okay. So I rated. I think these have been getting progressively better. So around an 8.4 last week. I'm going to give it an 8.232.
Wow.
That's good. It's good. All right. So that's it. Next week we'll be back. Episode 4. It's called The Obliged. Rick's vision of a civilized future is threatened by a sudden reckoning with past sins that remain unavenged and unforgiven.
So Negan?
I don't know. Is that really like past sins?
Yeah.
Why?
He didn't kill him.
Yeah, but that's not a sin.
It is to everyone who was wronged by him.
True, I guess. Yeah, well, past sins that remain unavenged and unforgiven. Who would have to forgive him? I guess Maggie. Maybe Maggie is still feeling a little angry there with Rick. But I don't know. Should be a good episode, and I'm excited. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, we'll see.
2 episodes left. We'll have a big champagne party for Rick's left. So.
We're gonna have a drunk cast.
Oh, Ryan's favorite.
Oh man, that was a bad episode. Jesus.
You've been so sober this season.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I don't really enjoy drinking anymore.
Yeah, I don't either, man. I'm not gonna lie.
We're at that age, dude.
Yeah, I think so. I'm at the age that I drink 2 beers and I just feel hungover for 3 days. It's not worth it.
I feel tired. I want to go to bed.
Yeah. I've gotten to the age where it's like I either have to not drink at all or drink in excess.
Yeah.
Because if I drink like 2 beers, then I just get sleepy and I want to go to bed and not hang out anymore. Or I just don't drink at all. And
If I drink like 12 beers, I get real excited and happy, want to do shit, and then I crash and go to bed.
yeah, and then you feel like shit for like 5
Yeah.
days after. So,
Where were you at during that episode?
what do you mean?
Were you 12 beers in?
On Sunday?
No, no, Ryan. The cast we never released.
Oh God,
Oh.
I don't even remember. I might have been. Wasn't a beer. I don't think it was beer. It was probably vodka.
Yeah.
It was
You were
probably
out.
like 10 drinks in.
Genuinely concerned that evening for your
I mean, I don't remember some of it, so, so whatever that is.
Oh, well, you can just listen to the never before released drunk cast.
Nope.
And it'll all come flying back to you.
Jesus.
Embarrassing. Not a lot of us have those moments recorded for all time. Lucky you.
There may or may not be a couple more videos on YouTube of me from college that I don't have access to anymore.
Oh man, we're gonna leak those
No, it's okay.
when you run for president or get
Yeah, I'm
nominated.
never running for president. No one's gonna vote for me, dude.
Or when you get nominated for the Supreme Court. You're like, here's drunk Ryan.
I like beer. Leave me alone. I like beer.
Oh god, that was its own drama to watch that day. So,
Oh yeah.
That's-
But all right, let's end this
All right.
this charade.
Awesome. Okay, so like I said before, if you have feedback, you can email twdepodcast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on any of our social media, it's pretty much all Fandom Found. Facebook.com/Fandom Found. Twitter @FandomFound. We're on the Instagrams @FandomFound. And that's it. If you like the podcast and you want to subscribe, you can go. You could do so by going to fandomfound.com/subscribe. We provide subscription options for all of our podcasts, including Fear the Walking Dead, Westworld, and Survivor. And don't forget, we actually record our Survivor podcast every Thursday night at 9 p.m. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do that live, and then also a downloadable version available on our website as well. So fandomfound.com, go there, subscribe, and listen. And subscribe to our YouTube channel and sign up for notifications, and you'll find out every single time we go live and record a podcast, and then you can listen live. if
Yeah, and you can
feel so
talk to us like
inclined.
Michael. Michael, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. It was a pleasure interacting with you.
Indeed. I feel like every week we get one person who interacts throughout almost the entire show.
Mm-hmm.
Now we need like 5 people who interact throughout the entire show.
Tell us how wrong we are.
Tell us how wrong. Tell Ryan how wrong he is. Just kidding. No, I'm actually genuinely interested in people's opinions of whether they feel like Maggie and Daryl, made a concerted effort. Whether Oceanside was in the wrong for doing what they did. And I'd be interested in those opinions. So if you want to email them to twdepodcast@gmail.com, you could do that next week, and then we'll fight about it all over again.
Yeah.
All right. You guys have any final thoughts before we wrap it up?
No, I'm good.
Nope.
Okay. Dennis? Okay.
I hope
Well.
you lose a person tomorrow night, Seb.
Oh, no. I'm not going to lose.
Shots
this person,
fired.
Don't you worry. Shots fired. Yeah. Is that tomorrow?
It is tomorrow.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah,
Oh,
Survivor's
you
on
mean-
Wednesday.
Yeah, but we record on Thursday, so that's what I was confused about.
Gotcha,
But yes,
gotcha.
maybe I'll lose a person. We'll see. Probably not that, because my choices are all awesome.
I don't know how you do it.
Oh God. Okay, guys. Well, until next time, I'm Sebastian.
I'm Dennis.
And I'm Ryan.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Walking Dead Enthusiast Podcast by Fandom Found. See you next time.
Bye-bye.